Hi, this is Yama Man. Welcome back to my channel. Right, so today we've got a little treat for you here, a New Year special. What we have is our RST Paragon 6 gloves. Now, these are not your average gloves, these are heated. Oh yes. And we're going to go into these a little bit more. I've only just had them, so I've only had brief experiences with them yet, but I'm about to go into them, give you a little bit of detail, what to expect, and take things from there. Right, so what we have, they come with 2 batteries, obviously, per glove. These are battery powered gloves, not the battery to the wire to the battery on the bike sort of thing. Personally, I think that's dangerous in my opinion, so I think this is a safer option, even though you do have a limited amount of time with them. So as we can see here, they're a 7.4 volt battery, 2200 milliamp hour battery, 16.28 watt hours. Now basically these little things, they take charge onto this dual lead setup here, and from empty 6 hours to charge them 2 batteries. I think they could have done a better job there considering, but regardless, that's one of my little gripes with them, 6 hours charging. So basically, obviously you'll have to excuse because I'm obviously looking through the phone whilst I'm trying to do this. Obviously they attach through there like that to make sure it's got a nice secure connection. So for demonstration purposes, that's in. And basically it fits into this little waterproof pouch. Now bear in mind, this connection here is not waterproof, so take note of that. So basically, have to excuse me because obviously I'm holding the phone whilst trying to do this. Yeah, so as I was saying, basically that's now in there, and obviously it has like a waterproof seam, and it sits within this cuff that sits on your wrist. Now to activate the you give it a hold and come on. So basically the red setting is the maximum setting. Now apparently the maximum setting is around 60 degrees Celsius, and then you can toggle 3 modes. So medium setting, like a reddish blue, might not show on the camera, and then into a green, which is the coolest setting. Now I've not fully tested all the modes, I have been through them briefly, but not all. Then obviously back to the main. Then it's a case of just holding it for a few seconds to turn it off. Now, it's a great glove. Now, as I'm sure if you're a biker, most gloves, as you'll find, anything below 5 degrees is where you start getting nippy hands. Now, what I generally tend to find, now talking on normal gloves here, my throttle hand here, my fingers here take the most pain. But sub 5 degrees, you're sorted. These are your answer. They really are your answer. As I say, I went out for a little trip the other day. Now I was wearing my normal gloves because I'm going to talk about the life of the batteries and what to expect. Now, obviously I was wearing my normal gloves because I knew the environment I was in was fine. And it was only up until I got into the higher hills, then obviously the temperatures changed. I then pulled up and changed over into these. Now, what you'll find is they are, because they are a winter glove, they are bulky. They are bulky. Just so as you can tell, they extend up the back of your wrist. You've got the strap there to tighten them onto. Now, from what I can tell, the heating element sits on the top of the glove. That's where I've noticed, but it's got obviously thin insulation, and obviously the heat radiates around. And riding the bike, I have not actually found that your fingers do get cold. I have generally had it on the highest setting before, well, generally speaking, I've noticed when you get to about 50 miles an hour, obviously if you like stood at lights, you know, on the red setting, you will generally tend to find that you will feel the heat. Now, obviously the heat is still there, but because you've got cold wind passing over your glove, what I've noticed at 50 miles an hour is the heat is there, and it obviously keeps your fingers from getting cold, but you don't feel it as much. That's one thing I have noticed with the Paragon 6 gloves. On other settings, I've had them on briefly, on the medium setting, and again, I've not really found any difference as such to whether my fingers freeze or anything like that. Now, bearing in mind, I have a motorbike that's maximum capability of 60 miles an hour on average, so if you're riding a big bike that goes super fast, well, one, you shouldn't be riding fast, but that's not for me to tell you really. But two, at hypothetical speak, if you're travelling at 100 miles an hour, I couldn't tell you. You would have to have another review somewhere else for these. But this is what I found. They're also, I believe, smartphone on index finger only. Smartphone, so you don't have to take your obviously glove off when you're operating your phone, which is handy. And they also have this visor wipe here, which is nice and handy. You see that? So yeah, they have this. What I also find is, because you've got the cuff, obviously again, adjustable. Depending on the thickness of your jacket, now as you've seen in my previous videos, I have an RST Adventure jacket. Now, it gets a bit bulky around the edge of the wrists, and these do get, I can't really get that over my sleeve sort of thing, so this sort of gets squished up a bit. And the thing is, because naturally you've got the battery in the cuff, well, you can see you can't really compress that cuff. So you have to answer the question yourself. Are these type of gloves suitable for you? Yes. Or do you prefer the ones with the wires? Now, for my purpose, these are a lot more, you know, I prefer this type of glove. And as I've said, I personally think it's safer than just having a set of wires connected to you. But saying that, on the whole, they're quite a good glove, from what I've experienced. What you also find is, when you get it, you get every godforsaken end. So no matter where you are in the world, America, Australia, whichever country uses what pins, it all comes with various ones. Now, I'll see if I can show you them, just 2 seconds. So as I was saying, obviously they come with all the pins, and basically this is the box that they come in. Now, obviously they come in all various sizes, from I think small all the way through to extra large. Now, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Like it's all. So, everything you can imagine. So your batteries obviously come in this, various paraphernalia, like it's all required. I believe I think your charger comes in that. They are a 3M insulate, and it says the highest gram rating. Now, without the batteries, I will know, without the batteries working, or when they run out, you will find they're no better than any normal glove. So anything sub 5 degrees, your hands will get cold. So take note of that, and I will go into the batteries shortly. So regarding the pins, the plugs, depending where you are in the world, they come with 4, obviously the 3-pin that's on the charger as well. Now they come with those. Now regarding the batteries, so let's have a look here. So red one, maximum, medium heat and low heat. Okay. As it says there, as I said earlier, 6 hours. And the LED light on the charger will glow green. Basically up here. Now, here we are. So on that red setting, 60 degrees, and that will give you 240 minutes. Medium, 50, 265, low, and as you can see there. Now obviously what you've got to understand is where your gloves are, whatever you're doing, temperatures, etc. Like with all batteries, they all have, they're not generally the quoted times. They will either last a bit longer, probably more of an understatement that, but probably a little bit less. Now, what have I experienced with mine so far? About an hour and a half on full setting, maybe pushing 2. I've got out of that. So what's that? 6120. That's saying 240. I wouldn't say the half. I mean, I've not personally timed it, but I would say they're probably 3/4 of that indicated timing. Now, when it comes to charging these things, now this is another one I've slightly found with it. Again, like with the glove, you've got this pin here and pin here. Now, you've got to really make sure that that is properly inserted into there. Now, if you was to charge it like that, you'd think, okay, I'm charging it. No, that's not the case. You actually have to be quite firm with it. Now, I can't actually replicate it with holding the phone, but you've got to make sure that you can feel it pop in. Now, my only slight gripe I had with them the other day was, now I don't know whether it was again because I'd not connected this properly, sorry. See, it's saying, oh, it's got charge, even when it's switched off. What I found the other day was, riding the bike, I was going somewhere 15-20 minutes down the road, whatever. That was fine. That one switched off and it wouldn't switch on. It's like the battery had no charge. So it's early days yet, but you know, end of the day I'd like to review them whilst these first little hiccups crop up, sort of thing, and then maybe I might be able to do a review later on in the year when I fully got to know a bit more. I know you only use them normally during the cold months anyway. Whether I'd not fully got that in there, I'm not sure, or whether my views is that's not a very good design. The only reason I say that is you've got one power source to 2 batteries, so that's working to power 2. Now personally, I would have preferred 2 chargers, 1 charger per battery. Now you ask me, I think that would make more sense and probably might have avoided that glove switching off the other day. So that's my overall review, and I know it looks a bit of a mess now. I've got everything everywhere, but end of the day, I like to do real life videos. You know, this is how it would appear if you put your gloves, you know, bought the box, whatever, and took it out on your bed. That's how you see it. You know, I don't do glorified videos to a point. Now, the main question you're going to ask, price. Yes, heated gloves, they come with a price. Now, unlike another brand, what was it called now? Can't remember. But basically, the price of these gloves did not include that. On this other brand of gloves, basically, the battery package was an extra £120, and basically it made the gloves over £250 to buy. Now personally, that's far too much money in my eyes for gloves. However, RST sell it as a package. Now whether because of the package being a bit cheaper, the scrimping and compromising on that, I'm not sure. Or whether the other gloves are any better, it's difficult to say, I've never had them. But anyway, I believe here is the invoice for these gloves. Okay, are we ready? Let me make sure I've got my personal details out of the way. RST Paragon 6 waterproof gloves, CE rated and medium. Now bear in mind, the company I bought them from, they're all the same price for the same size. £189.99. Obviously a bit of shipping. That's a lot of money personally for heated gloves, but the distraction it takes away from having cold fingers makes up for that, I suppose. So yeah, if you're looking for a set of RST Paragon heated gloves, the latest ones, there they are. Good little glove, waterproof, keep your hands warm. My recommendations going forward, especially if you're doing long commutes, buy some external batteries. Now personally, external batteries I found they're a little bit difficult to source. I have found somewhere, but if you search online you can find them. I don't exactly have the links to hand. So basically what I would do is I'd have another 2 batteries minimum, and what I definitely would do is I'm seriously considering buying another charger, even though it's got 2 ends on it, just charging 1 battery off each. That's what I would personally do with these gloves. I mean, yes, it's going to be a bit more money, granted, but I think long term, I think that's what I would do with the RST Paragon 6 heated glove. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight as to what to sort of expect with them. And thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. I know they're not the best, but obviously I like to provide raw footage as you see it, truthful videos. You know, there's no massive editing into these videos. They are how you see them, because at the end of the day, you use these in a real life environment, so why should I fake the video? So thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers, bye.